Hello everyone, welcome back to the SATAMonkeys podcast. I'm your host, Earth the Fatt, and today I'm joined by Club Me,
Hi.
uh, Ryan. I
Hello.
laugh at that every time. I always laugh at that, and it's not funny. And a Smooth Moraine.
Pog.
I mean, a Swole Nico.
Pog.
And so we got a decent few topics to discuss, but first of all, it's snowing. Well, I don't know if it is where Epic is, but it's snowing.
Yeah,
Snowing
surprisingly
for
it
me.
is. We usually don't get snow till like late December, and it stays till like April.
Yeah, it's snowing here. Bro,
Yeah,
I did take the trash out last night at like 2 a.m. and it was literally iced over. Like the ground was iced over.
You
Or the
died?
driveway.
I bet you died.
Yeah, I died. Yeah, I'm dead. So I get our first topic here is a little bit off the cuff. No real script for it or anything. It's just more of a discussion here. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X are now both out. So what are everyone's thoughts here?
Well, the word "out" is a funny word, right?
Yeah,
Does
they're
that
not
imply that
obtainable.
you can get it. Yep.
That's it. That's the whole discussion. That's it. No.
They're unobtainable because specifically scripted AIs are purchasing these consoles in bulk.
It's worse
to
than
sell
like
on
graphics
eBay.
cards.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, no one can obtain them because of the fucking scalping and shit. I'm gonna ask us to save talk about scalping for a bit later because me and Epic have a specific situation that happened today that
Yeah,
involves scalping. We can work that in there. But I just mean in general, like, has anyone seen any like gameplay videos or comparisons and shit between both consoles?
Like right before this, I've seen something in that apparently for the first time your console turns on, it makes like a certain cutscene where it like mixes together like PS2 and PS3 music. Like
That's cool. Especially since they can't play PS2 or PS3 games natively.
it's pretty great. Yeah.
I've seen a few videos talking about the differences, but I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see the differences between like what the actual differences end up working out to be between both consoles because they have virtually the same hardware.
Yeah.
I believe they have the same graphics chip.
I feel like the PlayStation will be more successful because it looks like a
Router.
It looks
It,
no.
well,
I was gonna say it would, like a dehumidifier. The Xbox looks like a fridge. So, but I think the dehumidifier is slightly more attractive than the rectangle. So.
like imagine
Same.
what the PS5 would look like in like low-end housing where like everything's like not exactly very nice, then you just have the PS5 that stands out.
The fucking the bright white PS5.
Yeah, and then you got the Xbox, which like basically will fit in anywhere because it's just a box.
Yeah.
They really went back to their roots.
They really took their namesake like just to heart.
Yeah.
But I feel like the design teams at both these companies are not very bright. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I
At
don't.
least PlayStation 5 actually put effort into it.
Charles, you got super fucking loud. Holy shit. I think to be fair to Microsoft, from a design perspective, like from like aesthetics, they didn't put a lot of effort in. From a cooling perspective, though, there's been videos showing off Microsoft representatives talking about how this one was specifically designed around cooling. So the design of the Series X being a fridge with a giant fan at the top, it makes sense. Like it's intentional, and it's for cooling. And from what I have heard, recent findings show that they're some of the best cooled consoles ever released, if not the best cooled consoles ever released, because they don't actually
Versus the
suffer
best
from
cooled
fucking
console
overheating.
is best cooled console is a PC.
But I don't know. It's just gonna be interesting with how they shake out. From like what console has the best graphics and shit like that, because they are really very their hardware is very very similar. I could be wrong on that, but I believe when we reported on it like a bit ago with one of the articles, it showed both the specs, and they're almost the same thing. I'm pretty sure the main difference is the SSD.
Make it a little better.
Yeah.
Sure though.
I mean, I feel like everyone who has a PlayStation right now will buy another PlayStation, and everyone who has an Xbox right now, they're gonna buy another Xbox.
I kind of
So
disagree with that because
Yeah, I
I'm
heard-
an
I-
Xbox person, but
Yeah.
the PS5 looks to me personally like the PS5 a lot more.
I heard a couple Xbox people saying they go to the PS5.
I might be wrong then.
Yeah, it's shit like it's like the Xbox Series X launches with no exclusives at all, and it's the same UI as the last gen. And where did all the hype go? Like, it's not
Warfare.
that good.
Xbox One, copy that.
It doesn't. Its internals I think are better than the PlayStation 5s if I'm
Yeah,
correct
ever
by a
so
little
slightly.
bit.
I think
But-
you might be right.
But they didn't do a new UI. It's the same exact UI that's been on the Xbox One, the One S, and One X since they redid the UI on those consoles like 5 years ago or however long ago. It's the same exact UI.
I don't think it was 5 years ago. I remember having the old one.
No, however long ago it was, they redid it halfway through the console's lifespan, and it's really so I don't know. That'd be like what 2014, 2015, 4 years ago maybe. It was halfway through it, and it released in like 2013. But the UI is the same. The hardware might run better, but ultimately you're not. What new games are you gonna play in the Series X that haven't already been released on the One?
To be fair, I don't think there are any good games coming out right now. That's just my opinion. Maybe Call of Duty's good.
Well, but true.
I
But
don't
then you
know.
have Miles Morales on the PS5.
That's true. I feel like that'll attract a lot of people to buying the console.
Yeah, Sony did everything except for the design, which looks like a router, and you can't skin it because of the weirdness of the white panels. But in terms of like the internals and the software part and exclusivity, Sony's done everything right. It's got a brand new UI, so it feels like a new console. It doesn't feel like you fucking took your 2009 Dodge Grand Caravan and replaced the exterior of it with the body of a 2015 Grand Caravan, but the internal's the same. It doesn't feel like that. New UI. There's exclusives. The only one I know is Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales, but
Xbox Series X also has some exclusives like Halo.
That's not out yet.
Well, maybe not on release, but
That's
they
what
will
I'm
be.
referring to on release.
Okay.
There's nothing on release that would scream to you, get the Series X. There's nothing. You're either gonna, if you're an Xbox person right now and you're smart, in my opinion here, you're going to sit on your One XS or whatever the fuck version you have. You're literally just gonna keep using that until fucking Halo Infinite comes out and justifies buying a new Xbox. Or you're just going to go to the PS5 to play both now Spider-Man 2018 Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like, why wouldn't you at that point?
Yeah. If you don't care about either the Spider-Man games, either just like keep your one or buy a PC.
No, not even that, because there's fucking like God of War.
Yeah.
Like there are PS4 and PlayStation, I'd say, exclusives that I've wanted to play. I'm personally an Xbox person, but it made me debate like wanting to buy PS4 Pro. I'm like the PS5, and when it comes down to a reasonable price and is 5 years old, I'll probably buy one because it looks really fucking cool.
I don't care about either Xbox or PS5 or PlayStation in general because I've used to have a PS3. I've played no exclusives on it. Like I could have bought I could have had a 360 and played the exact same stuff on it.
You literally couldn't have played Last of Us.
I said I didn't have any exclusives on.
You said you didn't play any. You could have. Why didn't you play Last of Us if you have a PS3?
I don't know, because I didn't even know that was a game series at the time. This was like 5 years ago or something.
Oh, gotcha. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really care about consoles. The only console that I do play is the Switch because there's actually many games on that I do care about and want to play.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll leave it at that just so we can move on to some written topics here.
Yeah.
So, first written topic, speaking of Last of Us, is The Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 has, I think, let me scroll through here, but if I remember, this article, by the way, is from pushsquare.com. And I looked over at the Game of the Year awards or Game Awards website, and I think Last of Us 2 is like 5 nominations for different categories or something like that. Sorry, it's nominated in 10 categories. It says here.
Yeah.
And one of them is best, like one of them is Game of the Year, and then there's people on Twitter defending it like it's so amazing narratively. It's so great, and I don't know. Has anyone here played Last of Us 2?
No.
All right.
All I know about
Very
Last of Us
educated
2.
crowd.
All I know about Last of Us 2 is I'm still trying to figure out who went through more pain than her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the quartering and say, based on the trailers and the early reviews, I'm going to say this game is awful. Don't buy it because I'm saying it when I've never played it. I don't want to be the quartering, but I've watched a bit of playthrough of the story of Last of Us 2, and at one point I think I watched the entirety of Last of Us 1. I don't remember it, but I remember parts of it, and I've recently watched a bit more of it again. Last of Us 2, from what I've seen, and especially like what the big story thing is, which I'm not going to spoil, but even though the game has been out for a while, but I can understand why people hated the game and thought it went in a stupid direction. And from a narrative perspective, a lot of it is flawed and just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like how in the most recent Star Wars trilogy, Luke Skywalker, for his first appearance, says the original trilogy doesn't fucking act like Luke Skywalker at all until like one scene towards the end of the film, and then that's it.
But Luke was kind of a pussy in the original trilogy, so...
Yeah, but they didn't. But his characters like that don't change. They don't just randomly change and then change back. That's what I'm getting at. This game kind of did that a little bit. It just kind of changed the character.
I mean, I'm extremely indifferent towards The Last of Us, but I do know it's a divisive game, and I know whether it wins or loses, a lot of people have very strong opinions about it. And,
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't personally care, but I'm interested to see how the Game Awards goes. Not that they really matter, but
Yeah. I'm rooting for
people
Doom
do
Eternal.
bad.
I think Doom Eternal deserves Game of the Year. The DLC doesn't. The DLC I think is really fucking bad, but I've really liked base game Doom Eternal, so I hope that wins. But if Last of Us 2 wins, I guess fair game. But like people on Twitter seem to really be defending the shit out of it, and it's funny because it seems like it's the same people that were denouncing it when it came out are now saying, "Yeah, it's amazing." So I don't get it, but Twitter has become like a second Reddit. So I don't know what I expect anymore.
I just think Reddit's as bad as Twitter is.
I think it's the opposite. I think Reddit's worse than Twitter. I think Reddit can be a lot worse. The Reddit hive mind is real.
It probably can be worse. Twitter, I don't like it because everybody gets a voice. You have no way of like shutting stupid people down. At least with Reddit, you can downvote, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I guess to each their own. I don't know. I don't want to get into an argument about Reddit right now. I literally jokingly called someone a Redditor yesterday, and he actually was a fucking he was on Reddit all the time, and he banned me from a server for it, a Discord server. And I talked to the owner like, what the fuck is wrong with your moderator? What the fuck is wrong with him? So I don't want to get into Reddit shit because I'm sick of Reddit, but...
I'm friends with a couple people like that.
Oh, God.
Or at least one person like that.
Yeah. So let's move to the next article here. Apple announces the App Store Small Business Program, which essentially says that if your business earns more than $1 million in a fiscal year, then... maybe fiscal's not needed, I don't know. More than $1 million in a year, then it qualifies to have Apple's cut of your sales taken down from 30 to 15%. This is presumably in response to Epic Games' kind of dumb lawsuit.
Wait, less than $1 million or more than $1 million?
More than $1 million, I believe.
So they're giving
$1 million.
So they're taking less money from the big businesses.
No. This article is misleading.
This article's from Apple.com.
It's still written really poorly.
Existing developers who made up to $1 million in 2020 for all of their apps, as well as new developers to the App Store, can qualify for the program. Oh, okay, so new developers as well. So what existing developers who've made up to 1 million.
Up to 1 million, not more than 1 million.
So if you made more than 1 million though, then you're out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they,
I think they're giving discounts to the smaller developers. That's what it looks like.
Interesting. That is poorly worded.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to have more than 1 million to somehow lower your
Yeah.
commission.
It's funny to me that this is their response to Epic Games' lawsuit. Like, yeah, we'll give lower commissions to like all the people that are not multi-billion-dollar companies. It's a nice thing to do. And also it's the biggest fuck you to Epic Games because just from a legal perspective, Epic Games' lawsuit was so stupid. It's just been, I don't believe it's been thrown out of court yet, but they've tried to like have Apple forced to reinstate Fortnite, and the courts just said no multiple times. Like, it's not happening. They haven't done anything wrong. You broke the rules and are now contesting the rules you broke in a legal courtroom.
It literally makes no sense, and also the fact that it seems like it was planned because the animation for it, which I know takes longer than a day to make.
Yeah, no, it was planned.
Came out a day after, yeah.
It was definitely planned. This was a very, very clear statement from Epic Games when this happened, when they decided to challenge Apple and Google, like, we don't like commission fees. We don't like having to pay fees to put shit on your store. Does Epic Games not realize you can fucking publish third party, right? The Epic Games Store. Like a third party app that has an updater built into it, and it'll auto update itself. Or not auto update, you can install updates through it, and it'll literally just reinstall the APK.
I'm not sure you can do that on iOS though.
On iOS you can't.
Pretty hard.
You're not wrong. On iOS it's still a fucking problem. Although with that said, as someone who's used Apple devices way before Android, it is not hard to find like a fucking
you can jailbreak it, but
I didn't hear what you said.
You can jailbreak it.
That's not what I was referring to. You can
right.
One of my favorite sites back then was called iOS Emus or iOS EMUS for emulators. They had way more than emulators, but one of the main apps they had was called vShare, and it was literally just a secondary app store. And the way you could install it, it was just a normal Apple IPA file, but it was signed. It was third-party signed by Apple. What they do is they get these. Originally, you had to have developer accounts with Apple, so you have to find sneaky ways of getting them. There was a tool for a long time. I don't think it works anymore, but it did for multiple years, where you can literally just open an exe, put in an Apple ID and password, and it auto signs it. And there you go. You have your signed IPA. It's signed for about a week. And then some cases you could get it signed for like 6 months, to a year. If some random fucking Chinese, we'll put in air quotes, company, because I wouldn't consider a company that puts out an illegal app store where you can pirate apps a legitimate business, like a legitimate company. But if a organization can put out an app with a signature that lasts a week to 6 months, that's just pirating apps, and this is some random company, how are Epic Games not capable of doing the same thing, but for like 6 months at a time?
They get sued. I'm
I'm
sure Apple will find some way to shut them down.
Apple may file another lawsuit against them, but I mean, that hasn't, like, it doesn't seem like Epic Games really care about the legal standpoint, considering they broke the law and then sued Apple for saying, fuck you, you're off the App Store because you broke our policy, which pertains to the law at this point. Like, Epic Games don't really seem to care about that. That's the only reason I suggest it. They're willing to break rules and then cry about it in a court. So if they're willing to break rules and then cry about it, why not continue to break those rules? Unless they're just really that lazy.
It's just a publicity stunt, I believe. I don't think they actually intended on winning it.
But no. But first of all, I believe it's still ongoing. But second of all, they kind of have to win it. I don't believe they reinstated it. If you look at Fortnite's player statistics, after it was off iOS, they're plummeting. They were already going down. Fortnite's been in a downward trend since like season 3, I believe, season 3 or season 5. It's literally like on Google statistics been in a downward trend. And after it was no longer available on iOS and Android, it just fucking dropped, like to really low levels. So they need to win this. They need Fortnite back in the App Store. They either need to win it or suck it up and put it back on, because they're gonna kill the game that's making them all of their money as a company.
Epic
I'm
did
not
this
sure that's
before.
where
Well,
they're
that's because they killed all their other games.
Yeah, and I know they made a decent bit of money from they had some game on the App Store that was actually really cool at the time, and it like broke the boundaries for mobile graphics. And Apple even talked about that when they were talking about the lawsuit when it first came out. Like, we've worked with them in the past, even on this game, and they've been fine, so we don't get what this is about. Shit like that still made the money. Gone. Like, I just don't understand why you'd kill your game like that.
That's
wait,
just
what's
Epic's
the
game
game?
plan.
It was
Infinity Blade, right?
Infinity Blade, yeah, Infinity Blade.
Yeah.
Because they added that to Fortnite for like a week, and then people said it's overpowered, and they removed it.
Because it was.
Yeah, I saw some videos of it. It was fucking stupid, but I remember that game. I remember playing that game. It was pretty good, especially for a mobile game running on was either an iPod 5 or an iPhone 4. Either way, the processor in those is not that different. They're both very similarly powered. It ran at like 60 frames, and for the time, really fucking good graphics. It was insane. So I don't like they've done respectable work on iOS. So why you'd forfeit the game that's making you all your money, plus all of your other games that have made you money and are backed by fucking Apple, so you can start this lawsuit while your game's dying, that is further killing your game? I don't understand. It just seems really stupid, like a failed publicity stunt that they just don't know how to resolve, because they're too stubborn to concede.
That has to be some sort of publicity stunt, which I don't know what they were expecting to happen.
Yeah. It's like, I get it. It's like if you walk up, if you get out of jail, right? You're selling fucking like normal small fucking amount of weed or some shit. You get out of jail. You're like, okay, thanks, officer. You know, take the shackles off. You go to the van, and you literally just drive away throwing cocaine out the window, like for like 10 minutes until they catch you again, and then you file a lawsuit against the cop or some shit because he was like in your personal bubble. It's just it's like, hey, we're gonna fucking break the rules and then file a lawsuit about it. It's the most American thing to do, but it's also really stupid in this case. So I haven't looked into that. This kind of divulged from Apple to Fortnite, but it is related, considering this is most likely Apple's cheeky response to it. Like, fuck you. We're gonna give everyone who needs lower rates those rates, but not the $1 billion company.
Yeah.
And this is actually a smart move by Apple, because Epic Games has been saying we're doing this for all developers. So now that Apple's lowered it for all developers that need it, because if you're making over $1 million, you don't need it. What is Epic Games gonna do now? They're gonna be like, oh well, we deserve it because a multi-billion-dollar company needs more money because our game's failing and we're not listening to the community.
Well, I have a little message to Epic Games. If you want to know how to not kill your games, don't make awful updates, especially ones that make it really hard to play the game for more than an hour at a time.
I've never played Fortnite, so can you explain what you're talking about?
Well, it slowly was going downhill since season 7. They added planes where they can like ram through a ton of like buildings, and it was really OP at the time. And then there's the Infinity Blade, and then there was the mechs in season 10, which were you couldn't even stop all of the rockets going through if you're building like a wall. And it would just like smash through everything. There was no counters to it at all.
Huh. So
and then they like removed it. And then that's about the time I stopped playing, and then I started playing again, and it wasn't the same, so I don't play it anymore.
Yeah. They added vehicles to a battle royale, and it did not end well.
Yeah, well they added first they added a shopping cart, then a golf cart, which was actually good for the game. Then they added they added an ATV with a jet, which was really fun to use, and it wasn't that hard to counter because the turning on it was really bad, and the only way to get killed by it is if you're low health. But
The way I see.
understand
Go ahead.
adding vehicles which don't have any weapons, but then adding a tank and like a
Well,
a mech,
they added an
That-
aerial, or they added a plane, which is really hard to shoot people out of because you could only see the very bit of their head, and like you'd miss a lot. And that plane had a jet booster, which could literally launch you off a mountain and kill you, and it also had a machine gun, which I don't think I can't remember if it was explosive or not. It could have been, but I don't know.
yeah, that just sounds stupid.
And then they added an entire mech, which took 2 people to use, but still at the same time it had like rockets which were uncounterable, and the stomp thing that could like kill you in 2 stomps or what. It's really dumb. I don't.
My biggest short take. I want to move on here, but my biggest short take here I can give on Fortnite is I remember very distinctly. I forget what season this was. Once I say the next part, Epic will probably be able to carbon date what season it was. The community backlash towards the game was really ramping up, and they were really starting to say, like, Epic Games, you're not listening to us. Please fix your game. Please listen to the community. And their response was fucking Travis Scott crotch dancing in Fortnite concert, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that was a chapter 2, season 1 or season 2.
Yeah, it fucking. I very distinctly remember that. I just remember seeing for like a week straight people actually complaining. And then they announced the Travis Scott thing. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. You're going to fix the game? And no response. And it just kept ramping up. And then on the day, like it happens, it fucking Travis Scott crotch. People just literally stood in his crotch. With fucking, like they built up to his crotch. Because there's a meme of that just circulated for like weeks. I remember that. It was fucking awful.
I remember that too.
They don't seem to listen to their community.
Yeah.
Maybe that's changed. I don't know. But
Like-
I'm sick of talking about Fortnite because it's Fortnite. Unfortunately, there's another Fortnite story in here we're gonna get to later. So not looking forward to that.
They haven't been listening to their community since summer of 2018.
Gotcha.
Which they added a meta where it was just shoot and shoot and shoot and don't stop shooting. If you stop shooting, you'll probably die.
Nice. Well, this next topic here, moving on. This is interesting to me. Because I don't know why Samsung would do this, but this topic says Samsung rolls out surprise updates for 5 year. Okay, sorry, this is the wrong article, but we have another Samsung one in here as well, so I mistook it. This one is still interesting. Samsung rolls out surprise updates for 5-year-old Galaxy Note 5 and Galaxy S6.
Man, I hate it when Samsung tries to be Apple.
What?
What?
Update is already rolling out in South Korea. It just, what do you mean? It's just like a security update, it looks like.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. They're not going to patch out rooting. They're fine with rooting.
Yeah.
It's Android.
Well, I'm actually surprised by this because the lifespan of Androids are like 3 years, then they only get security patches.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they don't slow them down like Apple did with their phones.
That's true.
It's a security
Yeah.
patch.
Charles, I need to turn you up. Your volume like waxes and wanes for me.
Wait, I'll start talking.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, I actually just got an update on my phone yesterday. I haven't had an update for my phone in so long. My OnePlus 5T, my phone I got in 2018, 2 years ago. They like just
a OnePlus, but
they just don't update them that often. They're older phones. After the next gen comes out, even if it's the gen that happened just before it, they just kind of stop supporting it. They don't do a great job. They're not the only company that's guilty of that. It's just OnePlus have kind of claimed in the past to really support their products after they're sold, and then they don't. And
That's not a good business model, being honest.
It's not. Well, but I mean, OnePlus has already done the same shit of saying something will happen and then it doesn't, and we're gonna get to that next. I have a lot of new gripes with OnePlus after today because this was kind of a big issue that they've ignored and, to my knowledge, not addressed. I'll check Twitter really quick, but they haven't addressed it. But it's nice to see Samsung rolling out security updates. This is what I'm assuming it is, or some type of performance update, which probably is the newest security patch for an old device. Because there are people who are like, I have my big screen OLED panel S6. I don't need a new phone, and I can respect that.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like Samsung phones have been OLEDs for a while. So especially when it's a giant screen OLED, even if it's not the newest and greatest thing, I can respect holding on to it. It's still fine.
Yeah. I was when I was getting my new phone, I think it was Christmas of 2018. Yeah. I was thinking about getting the S6 and I was like, no, it's a little bit older than I'd like to get, so I got an S7.
Yeah.
But still, I was genuinely thinking about getting an S6.
Yeah, I had a guy offer to trade me an S6 as part of a deal for a computer, and I almost took it because I'm like, it's not a bad backup phone. Like if a phone dies, it's still a giant OLED panel. It's fine.
Yeah.
And also too with Android especially and Samsung stuff, as someone who had to get into a S9 Plus with a destroyed screen where it really didn't work and you couldn't see anything except for like the top bar of it, you can literally just hold down power and I think it's volume up or down. Not sure. Maybe it's all three buttons. I don't remember specifically. But it's an easy combination. You just hold them down for a bit while it's powered on, and it'll reboot into an Android recovery mode where you can literally just wipe the phone fucking clean, put a new OS on it. And that's what when I repaired a family friend's S7, that's what I did, because they hadn't had security updates or anything in years. So I just flashed it with the a ported version of the newest Samsung whatever fucking OS. I don't know what the name of it is.
Was that the same one where you had the issues with iFixit?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Do not start talking about iFixit.
I'm not gonna start talking about iFixit. We have a OnePlus to talk about, and we're gonna move to that now because I'm pissed at this.
You can listen to the iFixit story in the La Pasta.
Yeah, you can listen to the iFixit story in the pasta. So moving on to OnePlus here. This is really fucking shitty, and OnePlus should be ashamed. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt right now. I'm going to check their Twitter right now, live, and see if they've actually responded to this yet, or if they're just gonna be completely silent and not say anything about it and act like it was never a problem. Because it looks like they've literally just acted like it is not a problem. As a matter of fact, it kind of seems like, they never actually addressed it. They just kind of said, "What an overwhelming response." So, what happened here?
Yeah, what's the issue?
OnePlus it's the article addresses what they're doing, but it ended up becoming a problem when me and Epic both tried to get them.
Yeah.
OnePlus started selling. They announced yesterday they're going to sell today at 11, 12, 1 and 2 p.m. 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m. EST. In different batches, they're going to sell they're going to give away coupons for the OnePlus Buds and Bullets Z, or whatever the fuck they are. Bullets Wireless Z, for $1. At 11 and 1, they did the OnePlus Buds, and at 12 and 2, they did the
I thought they alternated.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
But they at 11 and 1, they did the fucking Buds, and then at 12 and 2, they did the Bullets Z. Maybe it's vice versa. It doesn't matter. They're both $1, and they were actually $1. It wasn't like plus shipping. That part was cool, that they didn't fucking lie about it. What they did lie about is that you'd be able to obtain them, and it's really shitty. I just looked and I saw one other person was able to obtain them, but quite literally, and I want to preface this with, I know scalping can happen with this type of shit. This happened with NVIDIA, with the RTX cards, RTX 3000 series.
Full price.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. They're full price. And this, to be fair, this is a great discount, but this type of shit is unacceptable. The way OnePlus went about doing this, let's preface it with this, is instead of you claim the voucher and then you have to buy the product and then you buy the product and it's $1, it's you click claim, and keep in mind that would also involve a CAPTCHA and paying. So there's some prevention against bots. You click the button and you got a coupon, and that's it. You didn't have to buy it. So what people fucking did is they just set up bots that at 11:59 10:59 11:59 12:59 1:59. They would literally just spam the shit out of OnePlus servers with requests to claim it over and over and over. The website, every single time one of the hours hit that was part of the deal, dude, it would just go down for 6 seconds and come back and they would be all gone.
Yeah. I was in class, and it was one of my classes where I used computers to sit next to my friend, and I was like, hey, did you hear that OnePlus was like basically giving away headphones? He was like, no, and I was like, I checked it, and he's like, oh crap, that's in like 5 minutes. So I sat there like for like 5 minutes, and I was like just occasionally refreshing the page, and I refreshed the page like exactly when it hit 11, I think it was, or whenever. It would not load.
Yeah.
And then it would come back and it was like all claimed. And I was like, wow.
It's such bullshit.
You're kidding me.
Every tech company is having issues with bots now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. I can understand if OnePlus actually genuinely had problems with bots and they just couldn't overcome them. That happened in NVIDIA. That shit happens. I get it. They did nothing to circumvent this. They didn't even try. They didn't try and go, like NVIDIA's done, go through and see what buyers are bots, and so we can cancel their order and get them to the customers. NVIDIA's done that. OnePlus isn't, to anyone's knowledge, because they haven't announced it. They did not have a CAPTCHA you had to fucking click to claim the voucher, so any bot could just spam the shit out of it, and it was a voucher that you could claim without buying the product.
Yeah.
It could literally just be now there are a bunch of bots that have this voucher that either do nothing with it or hoard them all, which is probably the only other option. They're not going to fucking sell the $1 tickets because it's kind of dumb at that point, and OnePlus probably avoid them.
What they might do is actually buy them and try and resell them on eBay, which if we check over the next like week or something.
I doubt it. OnePlus will void
influx.
them. There's no way OnePlus won't void them unless they're that terrible of a company.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that. What these guys will do is they'll either sit on them for however long the coupons last, or just buy them all now and then resell them all on eBay for slightly under MSRP and what people are charging on eBay and make money. But
Well, also, what we don't know is they've not been at all transparent about it. They've never said how many were available, like even a range. It's just, hey, they're here. You might be able to get one.
Yeah, that's the fucking problem.
Are we selling 1, 5, 10, 100, 1,000? None?
Half of one? Because that's what it seems like. They fucking what happened, right? People were asking all of like yesterday when they said, "Oh, tomorrow we're gonna be doing this." They didn't actually say when, I believe, till like really fucking late at night when they're actually doing it, and it wasn't even like at midnight. It was, "Oh yeah, tomorrow like 11 a.m." It's just kind of, I don't know why they couldn't say that earlier, especially when many people were commenting asking. But they respond to people saying, "Oh, that's cool," with just like a cool emoji, like, "Yeah, we're so hip and cool." No, just respond to the customers that have fucking problems and have questions. And then they announce when it's happening. The images for the vouchers, by the way, are literally like 14p. They're
JPEG.
They are awful quality. It's disgusting. But they think it's an amazing idea to just announce only what time. They didn't say how many at all. And it's such bullshit because I understand if this is a flash sale getting rid of old stock, you don't have a lot, or you're just doing this as a marketing stunt. Maybe they only had 100, right? No one cares the amount as long as they're transparent about it or give a range. They did nothing. They did not comment on anyone asking what number. They've ignored comments about it. They've said it's an overwhelming response and look out for more deals randomly sprinkled throughout the day. That was their most recent tweet about it. They didn't acknowledge anyone's complaints that they're being scalped. I've looked at the thread and there's only 2 fucking instances of someone actually getting them. Which is interesting. And they're separate times. But it's interesting because someone said they were using bots. And even they couldn't even get close to one. And they estimated that there's likely, but for all these sales, there are only like 1 or 2 units available.
Yeah.
That's such a shitty thing to do.
Also, the coupon things, I think they updated them to like, they literally updated them to be better quality after everything has ended.
No, not for me. Not for me. They're still absolute garbage quality.
For me, they're, well, I mean, it might be because they're American, but hold on, let me. Oh, there. That's what mine look like now.
Oh yeah, no, mine don't look any different at all. They're still the same garbage fucking quality. This is what Let me screenshot it real quick just so you guys know what we're talking about here. This is literally what it looked like.
Yeah,
It's
what mine
it's
looked
just
like.
scuffed. It's gross. I don't know what they were thinking here. Like this is just this is just like my letter to OnePlus here. What the fuck was this event? You refused to answer customers' issues on when, and then randomly announce when later. Yeah, instead of just telling people up front after announcing it's gonna happen, you could have told when in that announcement. There's no reason to wait. But you're not listening to customers about the problems with scalping. You did not try and put a CAPTCHA to stop bots. You did not require people to pay. So again, you're not stopping the bots. You're encouraging them because you have to click one button and then you're done. And then you have that coupon. You don't have to pay for it. If anything here, they've encouraged bots and refused to talk about it and then said, wow, overwhelming response. We might do more. Or we'll do more randomly throughout the day. Keep your eyes peeled. These will go fast. Yeah, because the fucking bots are spamming the shit out of the servers. Every single time one of these would start, like a minute before it would start, their website wouldn't load. It would just hang. And then you come back. I got one time, one of the hours, I got in the second it turned to 12 and it said all claimed.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
Yeah,
Like,
they have enough bots spamming the servers, like whoever's scalping, that the second it hit that time, they had everything. There was no room for anyone to claim anything. You couldn't.
and also, my friend was there for the very last one, and he was like constantly refreshing it. It was gone in 1 second.
Same. Yeah, for all of them it was like that. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, for me, I think it was the second one was down for about 6 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. That is true. It was 6 seconds for the other one.
Yeah.
I just do not understand what they were doing here. They won't give us an explanation. They don't fucking know us for shit, and they'll continue to ignore it and act like it never happened.
I was thinking about getting OnePlus Buds, like, to replace my AirPods, like, sometime soon. Like, obviously my AirPods still got a little bit in them, but I'm kind of thinking twice, because
OnePlus, here's what my takeaway is. OnePlus don't make a bad product. They don't seem to anyway. They just seem to really not fucking, and keep in mind, OnePlus's main shit, besides never settle and not settling for less, their other main shtick they always pull is, we listen to our community. And they would say, like, the OnePlus 5T was designed, like, the community helped design it, which is kind of false because it's actually the exact same design they used in another Chinese phone from Oppo. Oppo's their parent company or related to them, so they just used the same design, which is a copy of the iPhone 7 Plus. It was not the community helped design that, it was just them. I think they meant the internals because the community really did say what they wanted for internals and OnePlus did deliver. They did listen. And I feel like they're at a point now where, like, they've had Robert Downey Jr. as one of their spokespeople. And they're like, oh yeah, we can just do whatever the fuck we want now and say, yeah, we listen to people. Yeah, we're OnePlus. And they don't have to do shit. It's also worth pointing out that one of the original founders of OnePlus recently left the company. So something's clearly going on with OnePlus internally and also externally now that isn't right. This is not how you'd expect them to behave given their track record and how they've seemed to really emphasize they care about the customer. This was unacceptable. I understand scalping happens, and if that's all that happened, it was just scalping, that'd be fine. But this was scalping, and they did nothing to stop it. They left everything easily open to be scalped. They didn't try to stop it at all. They did in our segments 4 different things. They had 4 hours to address it, stop the sale, add a CAPTCHA. They had 4 hours to do that. An hour in between each too. So they could have, like, because they all ended in a second.
Yeah.
They could have added a CAPTCHA in that time, but no, they just ignored it.
They literally had 59 minutes to fix everything. More like 59.
I assume most of the
53 seconds.
I assume they knew that most of the bot claimed ones wouldn't actually be used.
Well, they probably will be used.
They might be.
I'm not sure why you wouldn't. Actually, I know I can see why you would now. The more I think about it, if you're like a dedicated eBay reseller or something, or seller of these things on a third party platform, and you don't want the price to plummet, I can imagine like bot claiming the shit out of them, so no one really, so the price doesn't go down overall.
Yeah, well, I feel like the way OnePlus is like going with this, they're either like, oh yeah, we get to get rid of some inventory that's kind of backed up, or it doesn't get used at all, which means we can still sell them.
Yeah, it's just a very bad situation. My brain's like fried from talking about it because it's frustrating. It's a really annoying seeing a company that I've praised and said they really make a quality product. I still use my 5T. This thing is still a fucking brick. I think it'll always be a brick. And I'm not going to stop using it until the 7T Pro McLaren becomes sub $300. At that point, it'll be worth me saving up some money and buying that phone. Because that is the dream phone. It's all, it's an all-screen phone. I've been over this shit in the podcast many times. But even if that were to die, or if it doesn't come down in price anytime soon, I'm content with my current OnePlus 5T. I have no problems with it. The screen's fucking garbage with scratches, but I don't care. It's fine. It's a very utilitarian phone. It's literally just a utility. With how versatile it is and how it just doesn't fucking break. Which is the best part. But this is unacceptable. This makes me want to take back that praise. It would be. I really want to stress this too, because I had an issue I had a potential issue with a company called Mobile Defenders, and I brought it up in a Discord server, and people were trying to tell me I'm an entitled customer, like I think I'm entitled and shit. And I actually had there was a community manager that reached out and said, no, you're not entitled. I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with it, but I understand. I'm like, okay, good. I'm not crazy. It was about some not coming with the product, but they didn't. Oh man, I don't want people to think I'm entitled here by saying, oh, I didn't get the fucking $1 earbuds. I didn't get the $70 earbuds for $1. That's so bad. I don't want people to think that. It's the fact that OnePlus didn't try to prevent bots at all. They've left it entirely open to bots. So I do not understand what their plan was here. If it was just to piss off the community, they've overwhelmingly succeeded. If you look at the comments thread on the Twitter post, which I can link to you guys if you want, it's fucking insane. I think even Epic's dog's mad at it because it's barking in the background. I just heard it for a split second. So we're gonna move on here, unless you guys have anything to add.
No, I think it's time to move on.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say this before as you can hear, but I'm gonna say this. I was thinking about moving to OnePlus because their phones were really good, but I don't know now. Like, I was straying away from Samsung because they're, like, bringing up some things that Apple did, which is not good, like serializing parts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
the way I see it is OnePlus is ultimately just another Chinese phone company. So if you're willing to buy from a Chinese phone company, buy from, like, Redmi. Or the Poco phone. I remember the Poco phone F1 and F2 are really good options. That are, like, really cheap. If you're willing to buy from a Chinese company, then that's really your best bet. If you're not, then I guess it really is at that point just Samsung or Apple, and it depends on that. That's a whole other topic.
I was thinking about getting an iPhone, but they're just way too expensive, and if anything,
secondhand.
Yeah.
As someone who's sold shit,
I never meant I would not buy a brand new iPhone because last year's model literally loses $300 or more over the span of a year.
Yeah, my cousin talked to me about that years ago, and I didn't believe him when I was an Apple user, and then I finally got into eBay. I'm like, he's not wrong. Apple phones depreciate by like $300 to $500 the year the next one comes out. It's great.
And it's great because you can still find like almost mint condition ones, or at least good condition ones. Like
you can buy
my phone.
As someone who resold one, like refurbed and resold one, you can buy a iPhone 7 32 gig or 64 gig for this price if you really try, with no damage to the screen, no damage to the back metal. Well, actually, there's some scratches, but that's the worst of the damage. There's some scratches on the back metal. Everything works fine. Battery's at 100% because it's been refurbished. Screen is OEM for $115. That's a phone that Apple will probably support for another 3 years for $115. That's more support than you're gonna get from an Android phone you're paying $115 for. So if you're gonna buy an Apple phone, buy it used. But we're gonna move on because we've strayed so far from the topic that I want to get back on topic here, and unfortunately that means getting back to fucking Fortnite. Nick, please take this one.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Unfortunately, I have to talk about Fortnite. That's really tragic. Which one is that?
Fortnite is getting in-game video chat from Polygon.
Oh, do you want me to do this one?
No, I want Nick to
I
pick it. Nick can pick a
can't
single
fucking
one.
find it.
You can't find it.
It's
I know,
the
like,
one
no, like
right
it-
under the. It's right.
It's
the
one of the- it's under the OnePlus
straight
Buds
under
one.
the one with the
Oh,
brackets.
I found it. Fortnite is getting in-game video chat. That's a thing.
Good job, Nick,
In-game
man. Really
video
good.
chat. That sounds like awful, like terrible, awful, horrible. Whose idea was this? Who did this?
I don't think it's bad. I don't think. Well, hold on. It's probably for consoles, right? It's meant for consoles. There's no way it's meant for like PC, and PC users will
It
use it.
looks like you have to use your phone to.
You join the house party chat rooms with your friends when they're playing on either PC or PlayStation. So if you're on PlayStation, what are your options for audio calling? Because I don't own
parties.
consoles. So you can
Parties.
already audio call on console.
Yeah.
So why would you want? Okay, well never mind. I don't understand this. Then why would you want a webcam? Also, you need. Wait. So what? Hold on. So you need your phone. So you're gonna like prop your phone up. You're gonna like.
This is like Nintendo voice chat all over
Yeah.
again. honestly.
Are you gonna prop your
Literally.
phone up on the fucking like stack of books, like, just so that the camera's like just looking up your nose, and just set it on your desk like 3 feet away from you, and then start playing the game? Every time you make a controller input, you're gonna rattle the table a little bit. The camera's gonna shake a little. Like that doesn't sound good. And they show everyone's face like right there, as if their phones are right in front of them, like they're recording a fucking live stream.
Yeah. And
They've got their
also,
phone like strapped to their computer. Or
Yeah.
their TV.
also, it looks like it's gonna take away more screen real estate, which is an issue because the FOV does not change, which means you'll not be able to see as many people.
Yeah, what would make it potentially worth it is if they include options to like make first of all, not what the fuck is shown in the photos where it's like taking up part of the screen. That's stupid. But
It
have
should
it
be
so
like
that
an overlay that's like a little bit transparent. or
it should,
something.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Exactly like what
Like the
Discord does with
Discord.
webcams.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly like-
a little transparent, or really transparent when no one's talking, and then when they start talking, less transparent.
Okay,
Easy
but,
way
like,
to get around it.
Who asked for this? Who's like, I really need Fortnite video calls.
Or
That's
maybe
what I
just
need.
or maybe
Who
just use
played-
your phone or iPad because they're literally getting to the point where you can see them really like clearly.
Who plays Fortnite? Who played Fortnite? And they're like, damn, this game's real good. You know what it needs?
Oh,
My
webcam.
friend's face.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible idea.
Microsoft's crying in their corner. Original Xbox One launched with fucking. You needed to have the Kinect on at all times. They're just
Oh,
crying
yeah.
like, come on, bro. We missed it by like what, 10 years, 7 years.
7.
God damn it.
I'm not sure there's much else to be said about this.
I mean,
topic.
I
That's kinda
mean
stupid.
the Kinect did not launch when there was like a global pandemic that is almost to the point of locking people in their house again.
Yeah. What this looks like to me is Epic Games' way of, hey, we're not making a lot of money from Fortnite right now because we pretty much forfeit our entire mobile player base. Let's take this other company's money and put fucking video calling in the game.
How
That's-
would mobile work with this? Like,
Y-
well, it obviously isn't because
Yeah, you're gonna have to prop your phone up and use that as the camera.
Yeah.
What the only fucking way this would make sense is if they also announced they're selling like a $5 or $10 thing that straps to the controller that like put your phone on it. That's the only way and even then, like every time you like hit a button input, it's gonna like rattle the controller, so it's gonna be awful. I hear every
Imagine
input.
the professional players that like literally like use 10 inputs a second, just like launching their controller around.
Yeah,
They're, like,
in your
their phone's
eardrum.
gonna fall out of it.
Do you know the Among Us meme where the guy's like,
Yeah, the fucking. Oh yeah, that one.
That's gonna be
That's
Fortnite
what
player.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be like.
No, people are gonna find ways. Because I just know how this type of shit works. If this app is on Android, which I think it is, people are going
It is.
to install it on the fucking most archaic Android that has the shittiest like 0.1 megapixel webcam and most garbage mic you've ever heard, and just fucking join house parties. Like ask people in game, can I join it? Yeah, sure, yeah, and you join it, and it's just robot. It's just absolute, like, literal 10 pixels on the screen quality.
Hey,
You,
man,
like-
what phone you got? Oh, it's just my Nokia.
Yeah, it's just my fucking Galaxy S1. Like,
My Galaxy S-1.
yeah, I just had my BlackBerry. Oh, yeah, the BlackBerry launched 2018. No, yeah, the one that launched in 2008. Yeah. And I loaded Android onto it somehow, and I'm fucking on like, you're literally going to be playing Fortnite.
1995 IBM computer.
You're going to be playing Fortnite. You're going to have fucking, like, the thing on the left. You're going to have, like, 2 of your friends' webcams, and then just one mass of color.
Some dude eating chips.
Yeah, that people will figure out how to vert cam it too. You know, people will figure out how to virtual cam it, but I think what will come first is people with shitty phones force loading it onto their phones, and then it's gonna be awful. It's going to be so bad. I can only imagine. Like, dude, too mad if you're not watching this, but get on this shit. This is your fucking league. This is if he makes a video.
Yeah, how I think this could work is if they actually did like sell a clamp that clamps to like the Xbox or PlayStation controllers, and what it is it's sideways, it shows your face, and like it shows your teammates like it shows your teammates stats in game, like their kills and like maybe like downs and stuff to see your garbage teammates. But I think it could work like that.
Yeah.
Or just
think
not
it's
buy the
stupid.
thing at all and like prop it up on a book.
I don't understand the part where you use the webcam, which is dumb to say because that's the whole point. But that's what I can't wrap my head around. When does the part where in the photo the phone stands up perfectly straight? When does that happen? Because that's never happening, unless you have like a fucking iPhone 4. Oh god, that's gonna happen. People are gonna do that now. People are going to fucking use the fucking 2 megapixel iPhone 4 front facing camera with this app somehow. We can move on here though. We can stop talking about Fortnite. I just think it's stupid as shit. I don't know why they're doing that. And now we move on to one of the weirder, but also not necessarily out of character for Champion, because of what they've been doing recently. Collaborations.
Nintendo and Champion team up for limited Mario range, including real life overalls. Yeah.
Champion recently have been teaming up with literally like anyone. They've put their logo on anything. There's a YouTuber named Optimus, and he just announced a merch collab with Champion. HyperX, the company, have a merch collab with Champion. Everyone does.
We should get a
Merch collab.
Some of this stuff looks real good though. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
Oh, it
wouldn't buy
does,
the
yeah.
overalls, though.
Even Critical had a the merch for 2004 Breakup or Heartbreak, whatever the fuck it was called. That was literally Champion merch. Like they partnered with Champion. They're partnering with anyone, it seems. So
Not
this
even gonna
isn't
lie.
surprising.
I like that like pink Toad, like tie dye shirt. It kind of looks like
It's fucking Toad.
like
It's fucking
pink.
Toad.
It's pink Toad.
It's fucking Toad. You disgust me.
Big Toad.
I mean, it's Toad's a cool character.
All
He's a
right, we're gonna be
fungus.
removing Epic from the podcast next episode. My apologies for any inconvenience here. No, I don't. What I don't understand is stuff like the black one here that they're showing with the old image from I think it's Mario 2 or 3 of him jumping, and they put the Champion logo underneath. You don't need to put the Champion logo underneath. We're well fucking aware, because the Champion logo on this sleeve. Who makes the fucking merch? Also, no offense, and maybe I'm the only one who thinks like this. A brand name for me is not enough for me to want to buy merch, and a lot of this fucking of these designs are not very inspired. They're
I
just
get the
fucking
Toad
art. At least for me, most of the shirts I buy are from content creators that rely on like community funds, like Gamers Nexus. I own two shirts from them, and then most of my other ones are either. Let me look through my drawer right now. Let's see here. Hold on. What do we got? I'm like 8 miles away from the mic. My chair hit the mic. My chair hit the mic.
I couldn't hear it.
I have no other shirts in my drawer. Okay, I know I have one from Dahi Denogla. And like his green pancake store shirt and a few other ones. So I only support content creators or a good cause when I buy clothing. But if the design looks cool, I can get behind it. But most of these designs are just, hey, let's take the art that we've had in our fucking archive for the past like 25 years and put it on a shirt and put a champion logo on it. Woo!
Who here would buy the overalls?
Okay,
I'm
that
sure
pretty
it's
much
gonna make
settles it.
sense.
That
I'm
settles
sure
it.
someone wants it. There's
Well,
someone
I
out there
think
who wants
Matt
it.
would be the most likely one out of all of us, and it sounds like
Probably.
he doesn't want it. So
Imagine like going to school in a Super Mario Bros. Champion overall outfit.
Yeah, that would look
I-
you would literally get
I do
mocked.
it for I do it for the joke. I do it for the
I
joke.
would only see it as like a Halloween costume, personally.
How much do these cost, by the way? Let's see here. I need
Uh,
to.
no,
$150.
Excuse me?
Oh,
Between $30 and $150 depending on the product.
What here is
Okay.
$150?
Probably the overalls.
yeah, that would make the most sense.
Bro, they're
No,
literally
honey.
red. They're fucking red with. They're not that cool.
Oh yeah, I
I don't know,
can
man.
confirm the overalls are 150, but they're 250 Canadian.
They're looking kind of drippy. I'd wear them.
Yeah, like they're gonna fucking melt because they're awful. You're literally gonna fucking get glared down. Everyone's glare is gonna melt it, dude.
No. Dude, I'm gonna be the coolest kid in school. You'll see. You'll see.
I think they look awful. I really don't think. Well, I should say that.
Just
I
can't
think the
handle
overalls look
Mario
awful.
champion drip.
I don't think overall the merch designs look bad, but I don't know why we
You don't
slapped.
think overall?
I don't. Yeah, fuck you. I don't understand why the champion logo is so cool. I haven't worn, I've felt, because Zaire has tons of champion shit. He's one of the people who likes that brand a lot. I've felt one of his hoodies. The quality feels no different from a $15 Shopify hoodie I have. It doesn't feel different to me. It feels the exact same, and I notice quality. So maybe it was just a one-off thing, right? Maybe that just wasn't a real champion thing. Maybe it wasn't quality. I don't know. But they don't. It's to me. It just reminds me of like a Lesser Supreme, where it's like, hey, here's a fucking like $15 T-shirt we got from China, and we're gonna put our logo on it and charge $750,000 or some shit like that. I don't know why you inflate the prices for a brand name when Apple inflates the prices on their phones for security. What does Champion inflate them for? Just because it's their name? Like that's not enough.
I feel like Apple
remember, like-
inflates for status though, the same as Champion would.
That's partially true, but with Apple, they also make claims like they have the best security on a smartphone, which really isn't wrong. When you pay that much for an Apple product, you know you're buying, or for an Apple iPhone, let's say, you know you're buying something secure. You know you're buying something that can last. I won't say will, because they really want you to buy next year. They really want you to buy the next model. But you know you're buying something that can last. Build quality also used to be a part of that, but then there was fucking Bengate, so that's not really been true since Bengate, and then them touting their glass is fucking like having sapphire in it, and it doesn't, or it has trace amounts of it. But point being, when you buy an Apple product, it's more than status. Like you're buying it, if you're just buying an Apple product for status, it doesn't make sense, because status on phones has turned into how much screen estate do you have, and at that point you would buy an all-screen phone, whether it be OnePlus or some other company from China or some other specialty company. Like when I think of status phone, I think of the fucking Red Hydrogen 1, which failed, and they're not making any more phones because of that. But that phone was like absurdly overpriced because it's a big camera company. That's what I think of when I think of a status phone. When I think of a phone that means both status and there's a claim, I think of Apple. With Champion, it's just like, yeah, we have our logo on it. Yeah, we're Champion. Yeah. To me, from my experience, Champion doesn't stand for quality because it doesn't seem any different from other quality shit. It's just a brand name. And at that point, I don't know why you'd buy a brand name. These hoodies look like the type of shit, if you took the Champion logo off of, they'd look better. And at that point, why not just go on Redbubble and buy like fucking everything here for about $100 total, instead of spending $150 on just the overalls?
Excluding their overalls, obviously.
Yeah.
Think they're fine.
They don't even look that good though.
They don't.
Like,
Yeah.
Just looking at them, it's it's just bad.
The overall straps don't look good quality, but overall for everything,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, they couldn't even go through the effort to make them actual like button-on straps with the yellow things from Mario. They're just red overalls with a champion logo. So I'm not sure what the plan was here. I don't really think this was great. I think some of the designs are kind of cool if you took the champion logo off. That doesn't need to be there, but it's literally just Nintendo's art from their archive and Champion's logo all over a product. So if you're interested in buying a name and then Nintendo's old artwork slapped on a average quality hoodie, then Nintendo and Champion got you covered. Or you could just buy it from Redbubble or eBay or literally anyone else.
Quality of the hoodies, since none of us have actually seen them.
No,
Unless
I can almost guarantee Zaire's stuff is quality, like is standard quality, because he has a lot of Champion shit.
But I just mean you never know.
You know, that's true. But I'll say just from looking at it, it doesn't seem that great. And also I can say for a fact that the overall straps do look awful. That does not look right. It's not even Mario. It's literally they just took red overalls and put the Mario logo on it. That is disappointing. The rest of them though, I don't know. So I guess if you like Champion merch from Mario, though, I mean they got you covered, but I personally don't think it's worth it.
It'd look a lot better without the Champion logo, definitely. And then if they actually like fleshed out the overalls and all that.
Yeah, instead of making them a box.
It'd work, but...
All right. And that's the Champion website there. I got two more topics here, the Bud Light one and the Note one. I want to cover both, so I guess we'll do both here. I was going to end it a bit early, but we'll do both. I don't understand why they did this, but beer company Bud Light, this is from GameSpot, beer company Bud Light has announced its own next generation gaming console called the BL6. It
looks like they're only selling one of them.
It's one of it, yeah. It's kind of like a joke. It's literally a projector with what I'm assuming is some sort of Raspberry or cheap thing built into it, in a cardboard box with four plastic cans and 2 actual cans of Bud Light, and they have it up for auction on shopbeergear.com.
I don't know, man. It's got Tekken 7 and like Soul Calibur on it. I get that.
I need to enter a fucking valid birth date to look at it. Fuck that. All right.
I looked at it. It was.
What's the bid up to?
It's
what
up to like $4,000.
Interesting.
Wow.
That like chart.
I think they're going to charity though.
Makes
I'm not
no
sure.
sense.
Their chart's just meant to be
BL6
funny.
The BL6 flops, we got flops. Hops, we got hops. Projector,
It's a
hell
joke.
yeah.
It's just meant to be
joke.
funny, and it's not that funny.
Keeps cold
so-
beers cold. What do you think?
It's got 6 built-in games, including Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur 6. It's got 2 controllers, and it's
Yeah.
got 2 built-in like things you can put a beer in and it'll keep it cold, and it's got a built-in projector, and 16 gigabytes of memory. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on.
Is Tekken 7 the newest Tekken?
Yeah, all proceeds will be matched by the Bud Light team and donated to the National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation. That is a complete mouthful.
That sounds like rap lyrics.
So it's like proceeds will go to the National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation. But
It'll be interesting.
It's just like a fundraiser for a good cause, and it's like a funny thing. So.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if whoever wins this tears it down. Most of it is a projector, clearly, just from looking at it. But I wonder if it's running Tekken 7, it's probably running an actual chip and not a fucking Arduino or a Raspberry. So I wonder what it's running on. That'd be interesting.
Oh, the chart, the X and the 5 is the Xbox Series X and the PS5. I do not understand how I did not pick up on that.
Wow. Good job, Epic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's going to a good cause.
Yeah,
I wish
I was going to say.
If it wasn't just like a one-time thing, I might buy that because I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Damn it. I have one other story I'm going to talk about after the Galaxy Note one, because I watched it last night. I meant to put it on the thing today, and I didn't remember till now, but I can explain it all with most of the details, but it's really cool. But we'll get to the Note thing here. It's this is from Android Central, and the gist of the article seems to be that ultimately the Galaxy Note series might be discontinued pretty soon. If not within the next generation.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why they're discontinuing it. It seems
Well,
like
yeah,
they
me
introduced
neither.
the Plus model of their phone and then to just kill the Note when they
Well,
didn't need to do that.
It looks like they might be planning on discontinuing the Note series and making the pen compatible with their normal phones somehow. So,
Well, are they gonna pull an Apple and sell it just separately?
well, I'm thinking maybe
Probably.
they might design like a pen that like I really have no idea how they're gonna do it, but
They're
I've always
also-
wanted a Note phone because I think the pen is cool. But
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Surprisingly,
They might add a case with like a recharger for the stylus because it has a battery in it or a super capacitor.
yeah, surprisingly
Which-
enough, I've considered getting a Note, but it's never been because of the pen. It's just I've always liked how Samsung had another phone with a slightly different design, and because the Notes have always been more boxy than the like S series, there's more screen real estate. Most of the time by default, there's more screen real estate than like an S9 Plus versus Note 9. There's more screen real estate because it's boxy and it's not rounded. I've always liked that there was a model that was a bit more. It just felt more official, more like I don't know how else to explain it. It's like it's the phone you'd see someone of importance using over like an S9 Plus. To me, it always was like you buy the S9 Plus because you have trouble seeing, like the with a smaller phone, and you buy the Note 9 or whatever number because you're a professional. That's the way I saw it. I never really like caught on to the pen. I never really thought it was that cool.
well, this article is suggesting that they might, if they do discontinue the Note phones, what they might do is so that they'd make the pen compatible with their other phones, and then they'd sell cases which could house the pen.
yeah, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
what I was
And
thinking
if that's
earlier.
the case, I don't. If that's the case, no pun intended.
Oh.
I don't see it as necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because I just want the pen. I don't really care about the
Well,
Note
this
phone.
is saying that the Note 20 Ultra is gonna be like the last one. Wait, this links to $1,500. It has $10 shipping. What? Why?
What?
Imagine
paying-
charging shipping on a $1,500 phone. I mean, it's not as bad as Apple not including a charger in the box.
I mean,
Which
yeah.
Samsung might do that next.
Oh
So,
God,
you never know.
time to
Don't
never
give them
buy from
ideas.
Samsung. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, at least to me. I really would rather just see the Note series replace the Plus series. I don't know why they need to change that, but it is what it is ultimately.
Wait, what do you mean the Plus series? Like the S20 Ultra Plus?
I don't know
I
if there's an
forget that
Ultra Plus. I just remember there's been like an S8, S8 Plus, S9, S9 Plus, S10, S10 Plus. I think S10 Plus. There's a Plus model of the S series ones, and it's the same, almost the same screen size as the Note. The only real difference in it is honestly just that it's rounded at the corners, whereas the Note's a square, so it doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, it looks like it's just the S20 Plus and no Ultra Plus.
Yeah, I would rather wait, there's a Note Plus?
No.
Oh, you said Note
I said
Ultra Plus.
I said S20 Plus and S20 Ultra, unless I'm wrong.
But I don't know. I don't know why you'd get rid of one of your devices that already has the pen support built in and has more screen real estate, so you could allow other
people
devices to use
mind.
the pen, but also those devices don't have the storage for it built in. And most likely, if they do the storage thing for it, you're gonna have to store it on the back of the device if you want to charge it, because the devices do have power sharing, but I don't think that works to the sides of the phone.
Yeah, no, I
No,
don't.
it doesn't work because it doesn't have enough room inside.
Well, also because it's metal, and it's not gonna go through the metal side of the phone. It's gonna go out the back where it's glass.
The pen doesn't have enough room inside.
Oh, the pen. Well, they can make that work. There's no way they can't. They'll find a way to make that work. I have no doubt. Whether it be another iteration of it, but at that point, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens if this rumor is to be believed.
I didn't know this, but Samsung is making a Galaxy X Cover Pro, which basically is a very rugged, like, what I assume would be like an S10 or something.
Well, they already make the like the active series, which is rugged versions of their phones, so I'm not surprised.
I thought they discontinued that at the S8.
Maybe they did, but I know they did make them, and they were pretty cool. And now we're gonna go to a little bonus topic here that I don't have any script for, but I want to talk about. Do you guys remember the I'm not sure how many of you guys are invested in like game preservation, but did you ever hear about the McDonald's DS game from Japan that they used to teach Japanese factory workers or Japanese McDonald's workers like how to work at McDonald's?
No, I have not heard of that.
So back in some fucking time around when the DSi was launched, or a year after, sometime when the DSi was still relevant and not replaced, Nintendo and McDonald's in Japan partnered, and what came out of that was a bunch of McDonald's like branded DSIs. They have like glossy McDonald's logo on a matted gray DS. It's a glossy black McDonald's logo, so it's not a fucking bright yellow M on a black DS, or DSi. These McDonald's DSIs were produced along with these game cartridges that are just called ECDPs, or they just say ECDP on them, but they're actually one of the most elusive things in DS game preservation because barely any of them had made it out into the public. There was only one documented like publicly to have made it out after they phased all of them out. This guy had a McDonald's branded DSi and the game, but he couldn't figure out you needed a passcode from or a serial number or employee ID from a person who worked at that McDonald's in Japan or Japanese McDonald's. No one had those. And the passcodes are custom set by the employee, so no one had those. What is Nick DMing me right now? I have to leave. Hope we can wrap things up. All right, see you later, Nick. But ultimately here, you couldn't get into it. No one knew how to get into it, and the guy refused to dump the ROM online. The only other listing for one was on Yahoo Auctions Japan, and it was 300,000 yen, so it was like $2,000, $2,076, something like that. No one wanted to pay that. But a guy named Nick Robinson, he's done videos. You guys might know him from videos where he goes to Japan to try, like he tried to meet the guy from the Domino's with Hatsune Miku video.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Or the Monkey Ball video where he goes to Japan and leaves a fucking cursed Monkey Ball sticker in Sega. Like in Sega's fucking headquarters. He actually partnered up with a company named Bai, who I bought from before. They import stuff from Japan, pack it all into one box, and they ship it to the US. And they paid for part of it. And he actually anonymously bought, up until now anonymously, he bought the only other known public copy of the ECDP, and it also said it came with the password. He got the copy, you put the password in, he successfully got into it, everything was documented, and he dumped it online. So this game that no one ever thought like realistically ever be documented, because the guy who had it refused to dump it online, saying it was illegal, and also didn't know how to get into it. It's now available publicly, and you can also get into it now. And that's really fucking cool. The coolest part to me is he mentioned, first of all, he technically by about 2 weeks wasn't the first one to get into it. He said the guy who originally had it had kind of secretly uploaded some videos of the full gameplay of it and showed how he got into it, and no one really noticed. Like he just uploaded them and no one really noticed at all. The video had 136 views of the original guy who found it, and got into it. But apparently what that guy had to do, just 2 weeks prior, he went on a wild goose chase that eventually involved going to his country's McDonald's headquarters. He brought the DSi with him, with the cartridge. Their elite tech guy saw it, and he fucking pogged his brains out and said, 1 second, took the DS and the cartridge and slapped it on the CEO's desk. And the CEO immediately fucking called up people like from around the globe in terms of McDonald's like CEOs to get them involved to try and figure out, how do we get into this thing? This is really cool that it still exists. It's I never thought I'd be saying this because of how stupid a sentence it sounds. It's really cool to see McDonald's that dedicated to preservation of what is ultimately a game. That was cool. I would never have thought McDonald's would actually want to try and help, although they weren't able to. They wanted to try and help get into an employee's old cartridge, which ultimately was probably McDonald's property that was smuggled off of McDonald's and then sold. But either way, it was really cool to see them actually supporting it. So it's weird as this is to say, kudos to McDonald's for supporting game preservation. It's an interesting way to look at it. Sorry for the Discord noise. I don't have streamer mode on. So that's one thing. And the more I'm thinking about McDonald's now, actually, we'll end it here, and then I'll okay, I'm just gonna fucking. I can't turn on streamer mode, so I'm just gonna. I really hope Epic doesn't keep joining and leaving and joining and fucking making noise the whole time. Epic, please stop. Please stop. I don't have streamer mode on. Please stop. Please. If he does it again, I'm gonna be very annoyed. We'll end it here. Since one person's gone, one person's audio is fucking up, and so it's just me and Charles now. Thank you guys for watching. This was more of a rambly episode, but my fucking brain is fried. I'm just really out of it today. Topics are really cool, but not very well scripted. Oh my god. Thanks, Epic, so much. Stop! Okay, hold on. There we go. Please don't. Stop. Stop it. Stop it, Epic. Please. Stop. 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 Thank you guys for watching. Holy shit, Epic. Dude, stop. I'm Fatt. This has been Charles, Epic, joining the call over and over again, and Nick. And I want to leave you guys with a bit of a
mic settings or something.
I don't know. He said he can't hear us, I don't think, but it's fine because he doesn't need to. Because we're just ending. I want to leave you guys with a bit of a question relating to McDonald's, because I asked this to, I didn't ask this to Charles, but I asked this to everyone else. Because I haven't had time to ask Charles yet. Do you guys remember those PlayStation 2? Like those PlayStation 2s they had set up at a McDonald's in the Play Place? Let me know in the comments, because I saw one of those for sale, like the full unit for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
I was there.
Yeah. I don't know how they got it, but no one seems to remember them. So let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.